We are at Sha Tin on Sunday for 10 races. Paul Lally is in the studio and he's going to provide the selections for this race-by-race preview on the B+2, and racing gets underway at 12:45. In the first, perfect pairing on the class drop has the pacifiers with Cowls and the tongue tie both off, blinkers going on. Victorium steps up in trip. Wider draw for Oriental Tycoon. Super Hong Kong is a two-time course and distance winner. Golden Fairies 1 for 1 over the distance. Turtle again blinkers off, cheek pieces first time. And Leather Master no visor, and the cheek pieces are added with Golden Fairy the leader here, Paul.
Drawn 12, but it doesn't look like any other leader in the race, so he does like to lead. Super Treasure's up in trip. Oriental Tycoon likes to go forward, so I think that those three will probably dictate the pace, but it's not going to be quick. I think it'll be good to slow. Sky Blue, Shadow La Peace can go forward on the lash likewise, but the rest generally go back. And Chili Barber normally misses the start.
He's going to 2,000 metres for the first time too, is Chili Barber. But we start with perfect pairing on the all-weather last time. This was in Class 4. Hugh Bowman and John Size, £135 at the top of Class 5 for the first time.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of positives here with blinkers going back on him. Drawn nicely in barrier 6. He's up in trip. Always looks like he's a bit of a stayer, this horse. There wasn't much between third all the way back through to sixth in this particular race as well. He's been downgraded. So, look, if he's going to win a race, this could be the one.
That is a perfect pairing. Quite a few horses in our second replay, and this is over the 1,600 on the turf. Chili Barber's 5 lengths away last here. He actually does his best work late in this race.
He does, and he does that all the time. He did, in fact, manage to win 3 starts ago over the 1,800 metres as well, Chili Barber. So the 2,000 should be okay for him. The horse I'll take out of it is Victorium, who runs second. He's stepping up in trip to the 2,000. This second was of a 36 rating, so they've kept him on 36 for this contest. You can see him coming through here, and he looks a real star by Toronado. So he's out of an Ocean Park there. So the further the better, in fact, for him.
That's a good report for Victorium. And Super Hong Kong has the best 2,000 metre stats in the race. This over 2,200 metres last time at Happy Valley, and they went like a rocket up front in this.
Yeah, it went too quick, that's for sure. Look, he hasn't won for a long time, Super Hong Kong, but as you say, he is a 4-time winner. The 2,000 looks good with a 2-time win, and he's got Zach Burton aboard, which is an eye-catching booking as well. So, look, he'll go in the numbers because he's a well-rated horse, and at least he has won 4 races and 5 seconds as well. So, look, it doesn't read too bad in that respect.
That was a photo finish with nice birdie there. What are your first 4 for race 1?
Well, see if perfect pairing, the downgrader, can break through here in Class 5 with the blinkers back on. Victorium. Golden Fairy, if they do go slow enough in front, that will really suit him. And then Super Hong Kong. He'll want more pace on. 1, 4, 11 and 8.
We are going no further than race 1, number 1 for Paul at Sha Tin on Sunday. Yeah, and race number 2, a further Class 5 race, this one, but it is over 1,400 metres. Lucky Man raced wide last start, better draw this week. Perfect Peach has the tongue tie off. Regency Happy Stars won 2 from his last 4. Sonic Boom wears cheek pieces as he switches to the turf. Got double bingo with the hood and the pacifiers and the tongue tie all coming off. In Flying Phantom, no pacifiers for him. So the Class 5s here, Paul, with the Regency Happy Star doing it tough and winning last time.
He did. Look, he's drawn 1 here. So, look, he's got the opportunity to lead. He has been going forward in his races. Lucky Man has also drawn well in barrier 2. So I think he can get the trail. Many Thanks Forever likes to go forward. He can sit there. So Awesome. He's drawn 9. So I think they just have to make a decision whether they try and tuck in behind Many Thanks Forever as if that opportunity arises, or they press on.
Here is the win by Regency Happy Star. Last time he was never on the track, 3 wide. However, as good as it was, he has an extra £9 on his back this week.
Yeah, so he's starting to creep back up the ratings as Regency Happy Star. He's been in really good form, as you said earlier on, with 2 wins from his last 4 starts, and wedged in between were a 2nd and a 3rd. So look, he's hard to leave out, especially in this grade, because he does stay in Class 5. From barrier 1, he's going to have a lot more favours than he did in this particular contest.
Alexi Bedell rides him again. He's got a pretty good record on the horse. Alexi having ridden both his victories so far. He beat So Awesome in that race. Flying Phantom had blood in the track here 2 starts ago, and then they heavily punted him here this night on the all-weather. You can see It's about midfield and hard ridden as we roll the replay. Switches back to the turf. What do you do with him this week?
Well, I'm going to leave him out because this was the best run we've seen from him, and it was on the all-weather surface. So maybe that's the key with him. Stick to this surface. This was over 1,200. He's by dissident, so the step up to 14 shouldn't hurt him, and he was making ground towards the end of the race.
And a trial now. We've got Family Fortune, who hasn't raced since last year. He was scratched on New Year's Day with a fever, and Lucky Man has had 2 trials since his last start. One up at Chung Fa, and the other one here he runs 4th behind Star Figure, and it was a pretty quiet trial from him.
Yeah, it was, and he's drawn barrier number 2, so he should get that run just in behind the leaders. Now, he did have 2 fourths in Class 4, and one of them was close up as well. He was cruising to the line here under a really good hold. So, look, I'm going to go with him, actually. I think he's a good chance in this race.
That is a race 2 replay, so it's number 1 again.
Yeah, we'll go one and one, pair of ones earlier on there, Snake Eyes. So Lucky Man to beat Many Thanks Forever. I think he's going to sit right on the pace. Regency Happy Star. So the first 3 round the bend, I think, can be the first 3 home in this race, if it all goes according to the speed map, that is. And Almighty Kick. Now, he finished off his race strongly enough as well at his last start. 1, 2, 5 and 9.
A 1 and 1, a running double for Paul to start the day at Sha Tin. And the third of the day. It's a Class 4. Number of first starters here, and a fair few of them have trialled well. At the top, Maniac's on the class drop. He's now with Benno Jung. Mount Everest, a debut winner, extra 7 pounds and a tongue tie goes on. Bull Attitude is on debut. Dazzling Fit has had a trial since his first start. Per Baye has had 6 trials. Smart Engineers had 3. Top Throne has the cheek pieces going on. We've got Shiny Rapidash 4th at his only go over 1,200 metres, and Pochettino had no luck and raced wide at Happy Valley last time. A couple of speedsters from the trials here, Paul, up front.
Yeah, Precious Hill has got the 10-pound claim as well, so like from a low draw, I think he's just going to go forward. Shiny Rapidash, the key is whether he jumps or not, because he has missed the start a couple of times, but he jumped like a toff last time and actually led, so I think he'll go forward if he jumps. Top Throne should get a good run. Mount Everest can be a lot closer than he was. He drew wide on debut, but still ran nicely. And then Magniac, the downgrader. Bull Attitude, drawn barrier 13 by the Autumn Sun, might have to go back.
Mount Everest, a debut winner. He had trialled okay prior to this. Went out at double figures. Keith Young and Chris, so one from barrier number 11, drawn the rail here. Top Throne also comes out of this race. He raced wide, comes up with barrier number 2 and has trialled well since also. Yeah,
so they'll both go in, but I thought this was a strong win from Mount Everest. He's up 6 points for this win. He's drawn 1, and he did go forward in his trials when he drew low before this run. I thought he beat Top Throne fair and square in this race. Top Throne probably come on for the run as well, but of the 2, I've got Mount Everest ahead of Top Throne.
First starter, Bull Attitude. This is a 1,000 metre trial, but as we saw on your speed map, he's drawn wide and might have to drag all the way back to last. He's shown ability though. If
he does go forward, yeah, he might end up wide. That was just the query, especially with Precious Hill and the other one in the race as well that does like to go forward, Shiny Rapidash. I mean, if they miss the start, then it could all change and they might go forward because Lyle Hewitson does like to go forward in his runs. He's by the Autumn Sun, this horse, so I think he's going to need further in time.
Okay, you won't miss him being another chestnut by the Autumn Sun. On to Dazzling Fit, who you're all over on debut. He's won a trial since on the all-weather. Are you going again?
Yeah, I am. Look, he did a lot of things wrong on debut and he got shuffled back at a vital time in the race. Look, all things being equal, if he gets any sort of run, I think he can win this race. You can see him coming out into the middle of the track and under a decent stranglehold here. Every other horse was sort of pushed out in this trial. He wasn't and still managed to win the trial. So, look, I think he's learned a lot from that debut run. I think he can win this.
There you go, Dazzling Fit. So we're showing the last replay simply as a place option. It's Per Baye, who is a member of the Jamie Richards stable. Brenton Avdulla rides 6 trials. He beats Absolute Honour in this trial. He'll run at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. And that's aestheticism about midfield.
Yeah, so look, of the first starters, he's the one I'm going to put on a minor line because I think he's definitely got plenty of ability as well. by Perrin Canto, this horse. Again, he's drawn 10. He's going to have to go back. But I think of the horses that have to go back, he's probably got the better run-on style. Look, the other one, Bull Attitude, obviously he's got ability as well, but I just want to see him over a bit longer.
Okay, that is a breakdown of runners in race number 3, but you're all over Dazzling Fit.
Yeah, stick with Dazzling Fit here. I think he can win race number 3 to beat Mount Everest. I thought it was a strong win from this horse, and it wasn't a fluke by any stretch of the imagination. Top thrown coming out of that same race, and then the 6 in there for 4th, 5-2-9-6.
That's the preview for race number 3. It's the first leg of the early treble. And race number 4 now, this race, and we step it up to 1,600 metres for the Class 4s with Beauty Viva on the class drop as the blinkers and shadow roll coming off. Beato placed last time course and distance. Good Luck Babe goes to the 1,600 metres and he's placed his last 2 over 1,400. Wider draw again for Times Table. Oriental Smoke has placed 4 from 8 when it comes to the 1,600 at Sha Tin. We've got Victory Patch, who's run 4th in a recent trial, but race day form is poor. Little Squid scratched on the 9th of March. He's run 6th in a trial since then. And Celtic Times has the blinkers off and the visor going on for the first time. Speed Map Paul has Good Luck Babe and Oriental Smoke up front.
Yeah, look, Good Luck Babe trailed last time, but from barrier 1, I think he can be positive. Oriental Smoke likes to go forward, and he's drawn barrier 8, so I think he'll push on with it. Celtic Times went back last start when he drew wide. When he draws low, he goes forward. Matsu Victor. Could be a spot there for Beauty Viva to move their midfield. Victory Patch. Little Squid's got a gear change with earplugs and tongue tie on. I'd like to see put the earplugs in Little Squid.
All right. Yeah, that'd be an interesting sight. Makes nice calamari though. Times Table Beato Special Hedge. That's not a graphic anomaly. That is correct because they dead heated for 3rd Special Hedge in Beato, Paul.
They did actually. Look, Beato can miss the start at times, but he's got a really good finish on him. So you just got to take him on trust. This is a better run from Times Table. It's probably the best run we've seen from him. He's drawn 13, so he's going to have to get back and run on. But look, he finished 5th in this. That's him down the outside in those pink colours, as you can see. And I like the way he finished off. So look, he looks like he's finally getting there. Beato will just need to do everything right. Barrier 9, he'll probably go back once again.
His win was off a rating of 55. Beato, he's slightly higher. Good Luck Babe running 3rd in the pouring rain last time, but he did show 2 starts ago on a good track. He placed behind Lucky Fion. So if there's no rain on Sunday, no problem. Yeah,
exactly. And I think probably the rain didn't help him either in this race. He was down on the outside, and the winners were coming down the middle and the outside of the track, and that's where Monarch County came from. You could see him sprinting there in those yellow and red. But looking back to the inside, he's in the blue colours coming through the gap at this stage. He's been very consistent with placings in his last 4 starts, so he'll get his opportunity for sure.
That is Good Luck Babe. Now, Smiling Collector is very, very tough to catch. He ran 3rd last time behind Flying Luck, beaten a length and a quarter, and it wasn't a bad performance. He's been good enough to win 3, but it's just a matter of which one turns up.
Exactly. Yeah, as you say, just the 3 wins from 34 starts. But when he's good, he's good. And when he's bad, he's bad. So you just got to take him definitely on trust. He was coming down, you can see in the yellow cap there, he finished off the race into 3rd position. Flying Luck was the winner in the orange. So, look, it was a good enough run from him, but it's just what turns up on the day.
Yeah, there's just a couple of him Smiling Collectors. So what is the makeup of the top 4 for race number 4?
Going to go with Good Luck Babe from the inside draw. I don't think he was advantaged by that wet track last start. Beauty Viva, now he's the downgrader. He comes into Class 4 for the first time, taking all the gear off him, and Zach Purton jumping aboard. Times Table and Matsu Victor. He's won 4 starts ago. Normally pops up at big odds, this horse as well. 3, 1, 5 and 4.
That is race number 4. It's the first leg of the Triple Trio on Sunday afternoon. In race number 5 now, we line up for the CUHK Alumni Cup over the 1,200 metres. Class 4 with a trophy. Akashvani He's a debut winner. It's going well this race. Extra £8 on his back. Flash Current a first and a third from 2 starts. Legend Star, he is on debut with 3 trials. Lucky King has a hood and crossover noseband going on. Star Figure has the cheek pieces for the first time. Wide draw again for Sight Dreamer. Sea Sapphire had some mucus in the system last time. He's had 3 trials since then. And Excellent Daddy's been racing well, but they have been mainly Class 5 and also on the all-weather pool.
A firm from an inside draw. He's had a nice freshen up and he likes to lead. Akash Varney led on his debut run. He's drawn 14 though. He might have to work to get across there this time, although he did manage to get across from barrier 12 last start. Golden Lux got the £10 claim. Lucky Archangel can go forward from a low draw. Sea Sapphire is another one that likes to go forward but drawn wide, and then Star Figure did go forward in a recent trial.
We go straight to Harry Bentley. He's riding Flash Current. Race number 5, you're on Flash Current once again. He's done a very good job in a short career.
He has. Obviously, his first run was less than ideal with nowhere to go, but I was happy to jump on him the next time, and he won really well down the outside. Last time was another really good run, but I think the horses on the front got an easy time of it, and from my barrier just had to go a little bit further back. So, you know, he's coming into the race in good order, and we hope for a good run.
Not a great barrier this week, but he's overcome them in the past. So from barrier number 8, what about jumping? Is he okay out of the gates or just no real early pace at times?
He's probably not the quickest into stride, but hopefully now he's got a little bit more experience under his belt, he might be able to jump that little bit faster and get into a slightly more prominent position from there. Have to see on the day and speak to Jimmy, but yeah, I presume we'd be happier to get more of a midfield pitch.
You must have been happy to see Akash Varney drawn wide and a firm in the race and maybe a bit more genuine tempo this week.
Well, that's it, yeah. I mean, he was obviously a pretty impressive winner in that race, so he's going to be a horse I've got to keep my eyes on, but the fact that he's got an awkward draw, you know, perhaps brings things a little bit more in line with me, and yeah, it's going to be tactical.
That's Harry Bentley on Flash Current. Paul, we're going to look at a firm now. He had an irregular heart rhythm last time. That's the reason that he has a 12 next to his name. Form before that was quite consistent.
Wasn't it? Without winning, he couldn't get his nose in front. But he was beaten by very small margins on more than one occasion. I like this trial. I thought the trial was fine. He's a nice, quiet one. He had a good blowout here with this one. Look, he's a, what's he now, a 19 start maiden with 5 seconds, but it has drawn barrier number 2. I'll include him, but I won't put him on top.
All right, that is a firm, the chestnut there, running 3rd in that trial up at Chongfa. Just the one trial too since that issue he had last time out. Do you go with Flash Current, Akash Varney or something else?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Flash Current because they went quite slow in that race and he couldn't get into it. And he was a strong winner 2 starts ago. So I think he can go on top, a firm from the inside. Put Star Figure in on the back of that trial. The trial was good by deep field with the cheek pieces on for the first time. And Akash Varney, I'm only going to put him in for 4th because the barrier 14, 135 pounds, and did win off a slow pace. And the horse that ran 2nd, who was right there the whole time, he didn't run too well last start at his next start. So 2:11.71.
And that is race number 5, the first leg of the 6 Up. Race number 6 up to a Class 3 over the 1200 metres this race, and in it we have Lifeline Express at the top of the book. Last start winner, deserved win, extra £8 on his back though. Geneva, he's 2nd up and he races well 2nd up too. Gracious Express comes back in trip. King of Dubai, he bled after a barrier trial, so he's had 5 trials since then. Genius Baby on debut has had 7 trials. Low Pan Spirit's drawn the outside fence again. Free Pony has a hood going on, and Legendary Impact will wear cheek pieces for the first time, and it's Wonder Star leading, Paul.
Yeah, look, I can see this horse going straight to the front. Wonder Star has the £10 claim with a lightweight, so has led in the past. Gracious Express went forward in a recent trial. He should be able to get into a nice position. Target Audience, he's looked quite good in his trials and shown a bit of pace. Mobile Construction there. Free Pony, King of Dubai. Geneva can sit there handy. Free back the inside, get his chance. Lifeline Express, Savvy Warrior and Genius Baby haven't shown too much early speed in their trials.
Angus Chung joins us now to talk about one of the first starters, Winning Ovation. Angus, first start at Winning Ovation. You've been on board in all 3 trials. What can you tell us about the horse?
He seems like a good finish in the last 2 furlong. Every time he try, every time I can see the finish. So hopefully he can do it in the race as well.
His starts have been a little slow in the trials. Is that just something about him, or is he still learning about what racing in Hong Kong's like?
Look, he's still a little bit nervous, I think. In the barrier, he's a little bit play around in the barrier, and he's probably just a bit slow out as well. First few step is not very quick. Yeah.
The last 200 metres, he's shown a really good turn of foot. So will you like to ride him off the pace this week and use that late speed if you can?
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the horse need to put in sleep because he really easy to fire up. He's really easy to kick in. So probably at the beginning, I'll probably just put him in sleep and hopefully finish like in the trials in the race.
That is Winning Ovation, but it's a good field this one, Paul, and Lifeline Express went home a winner last time after going so close at the 2 starts prior. Geneva's following him into the race here. He couldn't get past him. They've run 1-2 and Lopan Spirit 4 wide the trip.
Yeah, so look, what's he going to do from the wide draw? I think he'll try and get some cover, Lopan Spirit. But he actually is going some good races from those wide draws. Now, I think Lifeline Express was totally suited by this wet track here. He's going to go up 8. He's gone up 8 points. He's drawn 1 going into it, and he did deserve this one, Lifeline Express. Geneva, I don't think enjoyed this wet track at all. So coming back onto a dry track is better for Geneva, I think.
All right, I'll switch around with fine conditions forecast for Sunday. Gracious Express, a trial from him. He's up outside the leader and he wins this trial quite impressively.
Oh, I thought it was a nice trial. He's drawn barrier number 4. He can sit just in behind the pace as well, Gracious Express. So I'm going to include him. Ricky Yu stable going extremely well at the moment, and you can see him, he wasn't let go at all coming down to the final stages of the trial. So, look, with this under his belt, from a good draw, barrier 4, I think he's going to get his opportunity.
And one more to have a look at. Target Audience is the name of this horse who raced as Target Audience in New Zealand when trained by Sean Ritchie and Cole Murray. 1,300 metre synthetic track winner at Cambridge. Has his trials impressed you?
Look, I haven't minded his trials, and on that win in New Zealand, he was right on the pace the whole way. He actually led. No one wanted to lead in that race, and he was stuck in front. But he has shown pace in his trials here in Hong Kong as well. So I think they'll be positive with him, put him on the pace. The question is, like, the win was on the synthetic track. This was a synthetic track. He's now going to do it on the turf. But in saying that, the horse does look like he's got a level of ability.
Are you sticking with the raced ones, though, in race 6?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to go with Geneva. I think coming back onto a forecasted dry track is going to really help Geneva. Lifeline Express, look, there's no problem with the dry track for him, but I think he's better on a wet track. I think we saw that when he did hit that track. Lopan Spirit just needs luck once again from a wide draw, but he's consistent. And Gracious Express on the back of that really good trial, 3-1-8-4.
Barinston Abdullah and David Hall combining with Geneva for Paul to win race number 6. Class 2 is race number 7, just a field of 7 to run here. Helene Feeling carries the top weight again. The Golden Scenery, extra £4 for a senior rider this week. Winning Dragon's been racing well, but mainly over further. Void Samurai is a 2-time course and distance winner, and Snowfield is second up in Hong Kong. He steps from the 14 to the 1,600 metres, and it's Void Samurai. Possible easy lead here, Paul.
Yeah, look, I thought this was quite straightforward. Void Samurai likes to lead. Woodfire Bro likes to sit behind the leader. Winning Dragon back and trip. The Golden Scenery normally sits midfield or worse. CP Brave likewise. Snowfield and Helene Feeling. So, look, I think that should be how it looks.
Harry Bentley's our man for race number 7, talking Helene Feeling. Harry, Helene Feeling right back into form and holding it really well too by the looks of it.
He is. I mean, he's been a model of consistency this season, and he continues to run really well.
Got a good record on the horse, a Group 3 win and a couple of placings, so you must have clicked automatically.
Yeah, I get on with him really well. I mean, he's a jockey's dream, really. He's a big horse with a really long stride and sticks his head out all the way.
Lately, top weight, doing it tough and still racing well, so you're going to have to cope with the top weight again this week in a small field.
Yeah, naturally, you know, that's something to contend with, but he is a big horse and he can carry the weight.
What about the small field and him? Is that all good when it comes to his tactics?
Yeah, I think it's fine. There looks to be a little bit of pace in there with Voyage Samurai, so I imagine we just keep it simple with him, and he's been relaxing really well, and especially over the 1600 metres, that's not going to be an issue at all. So yeah, I imagine we'll just take a lead, and the small field, you'd like to think, would make it a little bit easier.
Had a trial between runs. It was a good quality trial too, and he looked like he was running on well.
Yeah, it was a good quality trial, and he gave me all the right feelings, so I'm happy with that.
That is Harry on her lane feeling, Paul, but he's going to have to try and run past Voyage Samurai, who was run down last time, but the horse that beat him is Sunlight Power. He's very smart, the Golden Scenery, and Woodfire Bro also come off this rain-affected track.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a query with that rain-affected track for these horses. But look, he's been a very consistent horse, Voyage Samurai. He's drawn 6 of 7, but he looks the only leader in the race. He should be able to get across. He was beaten by a good one here in Sunlight Power, but he stuck on the inside there. Look, I think this could be a good race for him. 121 pounds over the mile. This looks like a very winnable race.
So on that, first out, first home.
Got him on top, yeah, Voyage Samurai to win the race. So he goes on top. The 3 winning Dragon. Again, he's been placed better over longer trips, but I think he can run a good 1600 metres here in a smallish field. Helene Feeling and the Golden Scenery, 5-3-1-2.
Paul with Derek Long to steer Voyage Samurai straight to the front and lead them home in race number 7. Race number 8 over the 1400 metres. It's a Class 4 event. Mighty Steed, 4 months between races for him. Kaying Superb has placed 3 from 5 course and distance. Etalonor has the tongue tie off. Mission Voice hasn't raced since September. Celestial Patch crossover noseband added to him. Carry On Smiling last start winner, extra £8 on his back. He was at huge odds. Always My Folks draws 13 again. And Sportic Warrior has the hood coming off. We've got a leader here, Paul, a joint lead of Etalonor and Fun Together.
Both drawn wide. I think they both can get across from their wide draws and share the lead here. Fun Together's got the £10 claim as well, and he'll like, I think, Etalonor going across because they can come across together. Mission Voice we haven't seen for a while, but does like to go forward from barrier 4. Seamus Storm, Kaying Superb, Mighty Steed. Big price winner, Carry On Smiling recently. Mr. Cool just need a bit of luck from his drawer. Autumn Vibes is drawn a little bit awkwardly once again in barrier number 9. So up and trip, but he might just go back once again.
Kaying Superb is in our first replay. He runs a 3rd here. Etalonor finishes a 6th. Kaying Superb has placed 3 from 5 when it comes to the 1400 at Sha Tin. This race was won by the horse that's last turning for home at any old price, the Auspicious.
Yeah, he managed to get up right on the post, did the Auspicious. Look, the Kaying Superb of the two was a horse that I did have a couple of looks at because he's been very consistent, as you mentioned, Kaying Superb over this course and distance. Etalonor was actually beaten favourite in this race, 2.9. He's been single figures in his last 6 starts and has been very costly.
Look to have every chance there too, Etalonor. As we move on to Carry On Smiling, who was better than 80-1. Seamus Storm knocked up after leading. Etalonor 4th and View All Things 5th. He's been slowly improving too, View All Things.
He has actually. He's only had a few starts here in Hong Kong. I don't think Seamus would like leading in this. I'd be surprised if they led in this race. He won't be too far behind the pace, but I just thought the race really wasn't run to suit, and as such, a horse that came through at a massive price over 80-1 ended up winning the race. So, look, I'll stick with Seamus Wool because he's trialled well since this.
We'll have a look at that trial shortly. Off Tappy Valley we go. Mr. Cool, 1 start at the Valley. He was a 2.4 favourite. Just held up here, turning for home. The horse that beat him was good enough to make it back-to-back wins, Tactical Command.
Coming to Sha Tin for the first time this one. It was definitely a really good run. He would have learned a lot from this. He's by Morris, so the further the better probably for him. He steps up here now to the 1400 metres. This was over the 1200. Barrier 11, but look, he's definitely going to go in.
Trial of Autumn Vibes, who's had the 2 starts, missed the start badly on debut, jumped better at his 2nd start. He runs 3rd here behind stablemate Star Figure on the all-weather.
Yeah, I like this trial because he wasn't really pushed out. The thing with the Autumn Vibes is he's got to do everything right at the start. One of the big positives for him is stepping up in trip. I think we'll see the best of this horse when it gets up to a mile. But 1,400 metres, I think he could get away with this race as well. It's a good race, don't get me wrong, but I think he's a legitimate chance in it.
You mentioned Seamus Storm not liking leading. When we last saw him at the races, they rode him back in this trial. It's at Happy Valley. He's pinching pies down the outside fence. He's so wide, but he runs on strongly.
He does. He was under the whip a bit. They did push him out in this particular trial, but look, he did finish off. He did what he was asked to do, is what I'm trying to say, with Seamus Storm. Barrier 8. Look, it's just what sort of run he does get, but I'm sure they're going to be a lot quieter with him. They won't want to lead with him.
How did you settle the selections for race 8?
I went with the 5 Autumn Vibes in this race. He's learning. He's obviously done a few things wrong, but here at his 3rd start, I think he's just about ready to win. Seamus Storm, Mr. Corwin. I'm going to put Raging Rapids in there on a minor line as well. Another one that's slowly getting there. He's had 3 starts, but he had quite a few trials before he started racing this horse. 5, 7, 9, 11.
And that is race number 8, the first leg of the late treble. And race number 9 now. This is the lineup for the second last. The boom box at the top of the books, 1 3 from 4. Brilliant Express, a 2-time course and distance winner. Silo, a wide draw again. Keefe and 80 Light Years both placed on rain-affected track last time. Igor Stravinsky at his Hong Kong debut. Fortunate Son, Blinkers first time. Lost Child's a 3-time course and distance winner. And Paul Oreo just can't draw a gate at the moment. He's out barrier number 11. Where's the boombox end up, Paul?
He should get a good run. He'll get every opportunity, the boombox. Drawn 2. I think he'll just sit outside Igor, who's drawn barrier number 1, so they'll probably leave the gates in a similar fashion. Riding together, he can get into a nice trail. Turin Star Spangled likes to lead or go forward in his races. Normally over a mile, though. Keithy and 80 Light Years both drawn wide.
The boombox, he's going to be very short. He was beaten last time. It's the first time that he had been rolled, but he went down swinging. Does have to carry the top weight, but for the first time ever, he's drawn a good gate. Yeah, and look, as you say, he's been winning from those wide gates. He came wide into this race as well with, did the boombox. Got to carry the 135. He carried 132 here, so he's actually up 3 pounds for this 3rd, but it wasn't beaten far. The 3 of the horses sort of were locked together as they came down. Armour War Eagle did win the race, and he's a horse that's been in good form. Magnificent Nine's a recent winner as well. On to the next one. 80 Light Years, much better this day, as was Keefe, but it's a good to yielding track they're both racing on here. Switches to a firm surface likely for Sunday, unless the weather forecast changes late. What do you do with them off this track? I'm going to leave them because they're both drawn wide. I don't know what sort of runs either one's going to be. 80 Light Years was a massive price as well in this one. And Keefe, and had all the favours there on the inside. And Keithy's so hit and miss this season as well. So happy to watch both these two. It's Janu Pride who's in good form, and Kaholo Angel has won on Wednesday night, but we'll see if they can back up that run. And finally to Chongfa, Paul, Superb Boy leads all of the way in this trial. We'll see winning ovation earlier in the day, and Super Unicorn, who runs 3rd, he'll be running on Wednesday night. Best time to get this horse is fresh, and I think this is the time to get him. He's drawn 7, but the boombox will be short, so look, I'm going to make him the value play because I wouldn't be surprised if he came up 8, 9, sort of 10 to 1 this one, especially with Brilliant Express in the race. That's Brilliant Express having their quiet trial out the back in the purple colours. But I like the trial there of Superb Boy, and he should lead and be out of trouble. There you go. So the factor for Superb Boy, straight to the front. Straight to the front for him. So we'll go 3 to beat 1 in this race. The boombox, obviously, the toughest to beat. Oreo up to 1,400 metres interests me as well. He's a horse who's hitting the line strongly over 1,200, and Brilliant Express. A little bit disappointing last time, but to be fair, he did have a bit of a tough trip. So he seems to have bounced out of it because of that nice quiet trial that we just saw. 3-1, 12-2. Luke Ferraris to steer Superb Boy straight to the front, and from there, they can't catch him. That's Paul's selection for race number 9. Last at Sha Tin on Sunday, race number 10, and the last is a Class 3 over the 1,600 metres. Gorgon has the pacifiers off, crossover noseband going on. Torbian Prince on the class drop. Starmac up in trip, the Best Peach back in trip. Ching's a 5-time course and distance winner. Dragon Joy's drawn 2. Sky Jewellery's very smart. And we've got the Absolute, who lost his rider in a recent trial, in solid win down the bottom from barrier number 4 as Torbjorn Prince leads ball.
Yeah, look, he looks the only leader in the race, so he'll be setting up the pace there. He can run some pretty quick sectionals from the front though. Luck is back, was leading in a recent trial and has drawn the inside gate, but that was on the all-weather. Glorious Success can go forward. Dragon Joy's got a lot better draw, so he can go forward. Ching, and then the other sort of 9 horses do like to go back, so they'll be sort of looking for positions towards the back. Gorgon's drawn 11.
Here's Matthew Poon on Dragon Joy. Matthew, you must have been happy when the draw came out and it said number 2 next to Dragon Joy.
Well, of course, barrier 2, it helps a lot. Like last 2 times I rode him, draw outside. This time draw inside. I think will make some difference.
Might you ride him a little bit closer now you've got the barrier to work with?
I think the key also like I think just let him jump and be less. If he can be closer, just let him do it. But I don't think I will chase him too much. But of course I got an inside draw. I won't be too far back. Yeah.
He's come a long way in a short space of time. Is he a horse that's still getting better and better with racing?
I think so, because only young horses, and I think he keep improving. He handle the work, and you can see when I run on him, he finished really well. So I still think he can keep improve.
And Ricky, you've made quite a team. He's been good to you, putting you on Dragon Joy, and must have been a huge thrill to win on Straight Aaron last weekend.
Wow, I can't thank Ricky U stable. They work really good, and thanks Ricky give me a good support this season, even last season, and so that's what I need to do my best to get the best result for them.
He certainly did that on Straight Aaron, did Matthew Poon. Here's Star Mac Paul, still just a 1-time winner. He's not normally too far away. He's a horse that generally goes in your multiples if you're that sort of punter. Is he going in this week, though?
I'm not going to put him in, but look, he does what he says on the tin, gets back, runs on, does it all the time. He's managed to get there once from 20 starts to win. That was at Happy Valley as well. So coming back here to Sha Tin, like he's had numerous placings here at Sha Tin as well. Over this course and distance, he's been placed 5 from his 9 times. So, look, he's definitely one you could entertain on a place line for sure.
This one, be surprised if he's not going in. Sky Jewellery, he looks a very promising horse. He's doing a great job and he's still very much on the learning cycle. 3
and 4 wide all the way. They went slow in this race as well. He got to the outside and he ran in a little bit, so that's just a little bit of greediness. That comes with just practice, race practice and learning. He got beaten by a good horse here in Hong Lok Golf. These two are well clear of anything else. To me, this showed that Class 3 is not going to be a problem for him. This doesn't look like a tough race. I think he can win.
Well, he's going in as the winner. That means Flying Luck at best, Paul, is a place chance. On the inside, had a perfect trip, was able to get through the centre and score. This was down in Class 4, so he makes his way up a grade for the first time on Sunday afternoon.
He's a bit like Starmac, is he does run into problems. He's had numerous issues trying to navigate his way through the field. This particular race, the gaps opened at the right time, and the horse with the 10-pound claim in front there, Fight Time, just sort of got a little bit lost, and he got up and won. Now he's just got to do it in Class 3. Very similar to Starmac.
Yeah, but he bumps into, well, they both bump into a very smart one in this race.
Yeah, like Sky Jewellery is going to be the shortest price favourite of the whole afternoon, I would guess, especially in the last. So he's on top. Torbjorn Prince is going to be in front. He should be able to get a nice lead in front, so I think he's an opportunity to win or be placed behind Sky Jewellery. Dragon Joy with a better draw. And the Absolute, few things have gone wrong for him. He sort of dropped the rider at track work there one morning, but he's got a really good turn of foot. We've seen that earlier in the season. He's got absolutely no weight on his back, so I can see him running into a very minor position. 9, 2, 8, 13.
And that is the preview for Sha Tin on Sunday. 10 races. Just a further reminder, it's an earlier start with the Osaka High coming in as a Japanese simulcast. 12:45 is the opener.